Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial, we're going to be creating a website with Wix. Now, creating a website might seem a little intimidating at first, however, it is actually really simple. And what is really cool about Wix is that creating a website with them is super easy, and best of all, you can get started completely for free. If we take a quick look at their timeline, you can see that they were founded in 2006, and in the 10 years that they have been around, they have grown substantially. Wix now has over 80 million users worldwide, spanning the globe of 190 countries around the world and over 1,200 employees. I will tell you guys one great thing about their service is that they have a very intuitive editor. They are very big on drag and drop functionality and is super handy to have when you're building a website. Now we'll touch more on this editor and exactly what it does, what it's capable of doing here in just a bit. Now, if we take a quick glance at the screen, you will see some of the nice features that are included with this editor. We have a mobile editor, which is great for creating a mobile website or even seeing how your desktop website will look on mobile devices. Mobile devices nowadays are extremely popular, and if you're creating a website, it is almost essential to have a mobile-friendly version. You can connect your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, doesn't matter, any social media account, super quick and easy. We will touch on some of these elements here very soon when we actually get to the editor. Another great thing that we have here working with us is the templates. They have templates to get you started in the right direction for just about any website you want to build, whether that be a photography website, a graphic design website, a business website, it doesn't matter, they have you covered. And what is best of all is a lot of these are completely free to begin using. Now with that covered, we went ahead and hopped on over here to my site manager page. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you a preview of the website that I created in about 45 minutes. So basically what I did was I used a template and then I heavily modified it just so you guys can get an idea of the power and the possibilities that you have with Wix. So I'm going to go ahead and click on preview site, and this is going to take you directly to the website that I have created. What you're seeing here right in front of you is the splash page, the home page of my website. Now, if you look closely, you may notice here in the background, we've got a video background, which is something that is really nice and easy to include on your website. We've also got a video playing on top of that with Project Motion that really helps the brand stand out. So real quick, guys, I'm just going to kind of thumb through some of the other pages that I have on my website, just so you can get an idea of kind of what's going on. I've got an About Me page, pretty standard. So very quickly, you can see the website that I have created. Now with that covered, let's go ahead and start building our own website. Now to begin, I want a really nice template to get me going in the right direction. So right here, I'm at the template section. I'm going to go ahead and click on see all templates. Now to stay in line with what I've already done with the website that I've showed you, I'm going to go ahead and go to design, and I'm going to grab this one right here. Before we actually start editing this website, we can view it first just to make sure it's kind of in line with what we want to start with. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and use this particular template. Once you're satisfied, go ahead and click on edit this site. And as soon as we press that, it's going to bring us into the intuitive editor. Here we are presented with the editor, and immediately we're going to have drag and drop functionality. So let's go ahead and start making this website our own website. And to start, I want to go ahead and get rid of this white background. This is super easy to accomplish with our tools menu over here on the left hand side. We can select background, and right off the bat we have color, image, and video. We can upload a video background, a still image background, or a solid color. Now if we go to image, we always have ones that we can pick from Wix, provided from Wix, which there are hundreds of photos to choose from, and video. Social images we can pull from social media accounts. And then my images, which is your own images that you upload. Let's go ahead and just to keep things nice and simple is pick a solid color. Now you might notice when you select this, you may not have the color listed here that you really want. So what you can do is click this little plus button under my colors, and you basically can create your own custom color. All right guys, so I have found a color that I kind of like at this point. So I would go ahead and pick that one, and there we go. We have a solid background of that color. Now by default, it will not apply this background to the rest of your pages if you've already got multiple pages set up here. In order to do that, what we need to click on is apply to other pages. Here we can designate which pages to apply this to. So if we want to do particular ones, we can specify that, or if we just want to do all pages, all we have to do is select all pages, and just like that, it applies this color, this solid color background, to all of our different pages. So what's the next step here? Well, since we've added in a background, let's go ahead and do some work on the header. We have a horizontal menu, and we can customize this. So for example, if we were to click on this, we can go to manage menu, and this is going to bring up the pages options. This is basically the arrangement and how your header is going to appear. If we were to click and drag home and move it down here, you will see that home pops up over here. I'm going to go ahead and drag it back, and I want to quickly talk about why we're not seeing contact up here. Contact is a sub page of bio, which is the main page. So because of that, until we take our cursor and highlight over bio, we are not going to see this page. If we click on it, you can see that it does in fact exist. But because of how it's set up here, it will not show up until we actually highlight the word bio. And as you can see there, when I do highlight bio, contact does in fact pop up. It is an option that we can select. So let's go ahead and go back to the editor, and we're going to go to pages up here, and we're going to go back home, and let's go back to this header, and we're going to go ahead and change the design of this a bit. So you can see here, it's kind of got this olive drab tint over the selected page. Now we can change up the style of the horizontal menu by using one of these up here. So you can see how quick and easy it is to just kind of highlight and see just how quick and easy it is to see all the different menu designs. So I'm going to thumb through here and find one that I like real quick. Once you find one, you can also customize the design. So if we click on customize and design, we can really fine tune how we want this menu to look. But because of how this website is designed, I'm going to make it very simple. You'll notice that a lot of these tools and options that you're provided with are very straightforward. It's very easy. So with this menu design, we have separators, which are these lines. If we go ahead and preview, you will see those lines right there. Now, if we want it to match our color scheme, of course, we've got to change that. So we can click on this. We can go to design here, customize it just like we were at before, fill color and opacity, and we can change this. We can change it to this yellow, which makes a little bit more sense with what we're working with here. And then if we wanted to, we can go to hovers. So when we hover over these words, this is what color they're going to highlight as. Once again, we can change this to yellow so that it is more in line with the layout that we're going with in the design that we have. So now if we go ahead and preview, see that these lines are now yellow. And when I highlight and hover over these different pages, they highlight in that color. The horizontal menu found at the top is a very important aspect of your website. So it is important to make sure you fine tune that to the way that you want it. Please take the time to play around with the options that you have been provided with. They are really helpful, and it is super easy and straightforward to accomplish what you want to accomplish. You would be very surprised. Now let's say I wanted to go ahead and get rid of this text. All I have to do is select it, press delete on the keyboard. Let's go to add, and this is going to give us the option to add an element. So right now, we want a heading or something that's going to really show off our brand. So let's go ahead and pick something that I feel is fitting for this website. So we can grab this one, for example, and we've just added this to our header. Now what we can do is go to edit text, and we can change the color of this. So right now it has this effect selected. We can change this to a shadow, we can change this to a subtle shadow, or we can add no effect to it whatsoever. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and select the highlight, and let's go ahead and select the color, and we're going to change the color to a yellow. From here, we can also change the font to something else if we're not satisfied with that for whatever reason. For now, I'm just going to leave it at that. We can also change the font size. So you can see how that's adjusted just like that. Now, right now, I'm satisfied with it right at 30. Let's go ahead and preview. And just like that, we have our title there. Now, say you wanted this header to have a border associated with it, for example. So if we preview the website, you'll notice that we don't actually have a border of what our header actually is. So let's go back to the editor here, and let's edit this header. So what we can do is go to design. Once we click on header, click on the design button here, and we can basically give this a color. We can make it completely transparent like it was before. We can pick a option that we like, kind of like this one, and from there we can go ahead and customize the design even further. So it's really up to you and exactly what you want to do. But you can see how quick and easy it is to really get something set up here. So say I was satisfied with that, just like that, we've changed the header. So say you wanted to add some links to your social media websites. That is very easily done. Let's go ahead and go to add, and we'll go to social, and then we'll find kind of a style that we want. So for this website, I'm going to drag and drop this one in here, and I'm going to add this to the header. Now with this added in here, and what we can do is select one, and what that is going to do is give us the option to link that particular icon to that particular social media account. So we can link whatever we want. If we don't have a Pinterest account, if we don't have a Twitter account, whatever the case may be, we can just press the little trash can and remove the image and remove that option and press done. You'll see those changes take into effect immediately. And there's our social media bar. If we preview this, and say I were to click on this YouTube icon, what's going to happen is, because by default Wix is in there, it's going to redirect us to the Wix page. So this is very beneficial to have this social media bar in there, and it's so easy to set up. Let's go back to the editor. Let's click on this. We can also change the layout of it. So we can modify the spacing of it. We can make this vertical. So what we could do is click and drag this out and place it here on the website. Now our header just got a little bit bigger than we wanted. So we can click and drag that back up to where it makes a little bit more sense. And we can just put these off to the side. We can also animate this. So if we wanted to animate this, we could grab one of these animations here. I kind of like this one. We can additionally customize that animation to however we want. I'm going to leave it a default right now. And let's go ahead and preview the website. And just like that, this comes up and then our social media links pop up here on the left-hand side. So I think at this point, guys, we'll go ahead and add in a photo gallery page. So to add a new page, we'll go back up here to pages. We'll click on add page, add a new page, and we'll call this photo gallery. Now you'll notice as soon as we do this, this automatically redirects us to that new page. In photo gallery, we can close out of this, go back to add, we can go to gallery, and we can grab one of these galleries. So let's go ahead and grab a photo gallery to choose from. So we can drag and drop this one in here, attach it to the page, and we can resize it if we really want to. We can stretch this out. We can change the layout even from here after we've already added it in here. And we can also change the images by clicking on change image. We can delete these. We can leave these in here. We can add titles, descriptions. We can add links to these images. It's really up to you. And just like that, we've got a page which now has a photo gallery. We can animate this as well. We can change the design of it from here, like I said before. And a lot of these designs can then be customized. Now, real quick, I want to go ahead and talk about how the site would look on a mobile device. So let's go ahead and go back to home and let's click on switch editor view, and we're going to change this to edit mobile view. So what this is going to do is going to show you exactly how your website would be shaping up on a mobile device. Now, as you can see here right now, it's not quite configured and ready to go on a mobile device. That's where you would have to fine tune and tweak your website, and you can do it from here, which is really cool. So we can pretty much edit every aspect of our website. If you want to switch back to desktop view, you can go to editor views here and click on edit desktop view, and you're right back where you were. Any text that was already there, you can click on that and change this to whatever you want. So just for the heck of it, I'll type in Project Motion there. We can change our font. I'm going to go ahead and change the font to Railway. So make sure it's highlighted, and just like that, it'll change the font. Now, if we go up to tools, we can take a look at some of the tools we have available to us. We have a toolbar, so you can see what happens if we turn that off. We can turn that off if we're not using it. We also have rulers, which is turned off by default, but that can be handy to have as well. Grid lines, we can turn those off, but the grid lines kind of help us show us what's going to show up on our website, what's most important. And we've also got snap to objects, so we can turn that off and on. That's pretty self-explanatory. And what's nice is they always include short descriptions of what everything does here. So that is very helpful. Before we go any further, one thing I want to really harp on is the app market. The app market is really cool. These are different widgets and elements that you can add to your website to really enhance it and help you. And a lot of these are free. So for example, this Instagram feed app, if you add that to your site, you can link your Instagram account and basically it will showcase your Instagram pictures and videos. You can also search. There are hundreds of apps out there for you to use. For example, there is an AdSense app. So if you wanted to link your AdSense account to your website, that is super easy to do. And from there, you can go ahead and start placing ads on your website and then drawing revenue with the appropriate amount of traffic. All of these apps have descriptions so you understand and know what they're used for, how they can be useful. These apps are also broken down into categories. So because this is a design website, say I wanted some design tools. So what I can do here is go to this category, hit view apps, and it's going to give me some helpful apps for a design type website. And it's going to break it down on each app and tell us what they're all about, how they can help us. So the logo maker, create a professional logo in less than 5 minutes. This is something that we can add to help us create a logo. So please take the time to visit the app market. Like I said, a lot of these are free and can be used to benefit you and your website. All right, so real quick, I think we're going to go ahead and change this text. So instead of it saying what it is now, we're going to change it and make it say Project Motion. Okay, just like that. And then I think we're going to go ahead and grab this header and we're going to bring it back up just a bit. At this point, I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of 3 of the social bar icons here. So let's go ahead and hit set social links. Let's get rid of Instagram, Google+, and Facebook and select done. So all we're left with here is YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this right next to my name there. So at this point, I think we'll go ahead and select this image and we'll go ahead and change up the animation that's associated with it right now. So if we preview it, you can see how it kind of spins in here. Let's go back to the editor and let's change that a bit. So let's go to animate and let's pick one that we really like. So I kind of like this reveal animation. Let's go ahead and customize it and let's lengthen out the duration a bit and let's preview that. So pretty cool. One thing that I think is throwing this website off a little bit is the header here. I think it's a little too light. So what we need to do is kind of maybe darken this a bit so it makes a little bit more sense. So let's go to customize design. Let's go to fill color and opacity. And let's change the background here to a darker black. And then we're also going to have to do that to the center of the background as well. And just like that, we've darkened up the headers so it kind of matches the color scheme going on here. Now what's happened is since our text up here is black, we're not going to be able to see it. So what we need to do is click on our header and we need to go to design. And once we're in design, we can then change up the color to whatever we want it to. So let's customize design. Let's go to fill color and opacity, and let's go ahead and go over to regular, and we're going to change the text down here at the bottom to a white color so it stands out, or a yellow. So we can do white, we can do yellow, we can do whatever we want really. Actually, I think I'm going to leave it white for right now, and we'll call it good. So just like that, now we can see all of our menus here. Now I did notice it looks like our home, since we are at the home page, when it's selected, this is the color it changes to. Right now it's set to black, so you're not able to see it. So if we go to color and we change this to yellow, this means that whatever page that we're on will highlight in yellow. The rest of the pages will highlight in white. So let's go ahead and preview the website, and you can see this is what we have. Now if we go to photo gallery and select that, now that changes to yellow. If we go to bio, that changes to yellow. We may have to modify the subpage style, but we can get to that later. That's not really a priority right now. And as you can see there, this is how this is going to work. So here we are back in the editor. Let's go ahead and go to home. Once we're back home, I think what we're going to do is click on this text. Let's go to animate, and let's add some animation to this text. I like bouncing a whole lot. And then I'm going to go to customize once I select that, and I'm going to change the duration to something a little bit slower so it kind of matches up with the animation that we have going on in the background. So let's go ahead and preview it and see what we have. Okay, so I'm really liking that so far. I'm very happy with that. Now off camera, I went ahead and changed the font of this, so you might notice that, because I felt like this went a little bit better with the design and the layout of the website. So now I think we can go back to the add button, and let's go ahead and add a strip to the footer of the page. So if we want to add one of these, all we have to do is drag and drop, or we can just simply click on it and you'll see this added right here. I think this just makes the website look a little bit better, and that is why it is there. Now before we start doing anything else, I want to talk about something else that's over here in your tools options. It's called My Uploads. My Uploads is going to house all of your fonts that you upload, your images, your videos, single tracks, so music, and your document. So this is going to be your one-stop place for any type of media that you upload to your website. You can go ahead and retrieve it from here. If I were to click on one of these, it's going to instantly take you to all the images that you have uploaded to your website. And from here you can manage them, you can delete them, you can add them to your website, rename them. It's really up to you. So it's very helpful to know where that's at and kind of what this does here. The main thing is that you know it is there and that it is available to you for you to use. Now jumping back to the home page, I just want to let you guys know I did a little bit more work off camera just so I could show you guys this effect that I just created. So if I go ahead and preview the website, you'll see it take shape there. So to create that is actually really simple, and that's what we're going to do right now. So to go ahead and get the process started, I'm going to go ahead and click and drag this out of the way, and let's start fresh. So let's go ahead and show you guys how I created something like this. So let's go to add, let's grab a rhombus here, and we're going to try to center this up so we know it's centered by that little pink line that pops up, and let's put it right here on the edge of the page. And basically what we're going to do is change the color of it. So at this point I want it to be yellow, so I'm going to go to design, and I'm going to change the opacity and fill color to yellow. Once we have that and we're satisfied with the shape and the position of it, what we can do is Control C, Control V on our keyboard, and once we do that, it's going to duplicate. Then what we can do is select one, hold down shift, select the other one. We also have this handy group elements feature which allows us to group multiple objects together. So once they're grouped together, we can repeat the process, Control C, Control V. Let's just drag this out here, and basically what we're trying to do is make this gap in between these objects roughly the same. And it's not going to be perfect because we do have snapping enabled, but I'm not going to worry about it too much for this tutorial. It's going to be a little off. I just want to show you guys how this is accomplished. So say we're satisfied with that. Let's go ahead and select the other two. Let's group these elements. So now we've got 4 shapes grouped together. Let's once again Control C, Control V, paste these onto the website just like that. And we'll continue to do this till we're all the way across. So group elements, Control C, Control V, and we'll drag this over. And then we can select both halves, this half and then this half, group them all together. And let's just bring this over so it's a little bit more centered into our picture here. There looks pretty good. And what we can do, since this is overlapping our emblem, go over here to the toolbar, arrange, and hit send to back. And this is going to place all of this behind what we want everybody to see. From that point, we can go ahead and animate this. So if we click on the animation button here, this is going to affect all of them. And basically when I went to animate, all I did was go to reveal, and then I went to customize, made the duration a little bit longer to about 1.9, and then I added about a half-second delay just so this can come in first before this comes in. So if we go ahead and preview this, you'll see what we have there. Pretty neat. Now I've went ahead and made a few adjustments off camera. I'll let you guys go ahead and see that right now. So these changes are very subtle, but it's nothing that I haven't talked about already, so I figured I'd go ahead and do those off camera. And real quick, I think we're going to go ahead and start modifying the contact page. So if I go to bio here and then go to contact, you'll see I changed this background and then I changed the text here a little bit. So if we click on that, it's going to take us to the contact page. Let's go ahead and go back to the editor and let's go to add, and we're going to go to the contact field. And here we have all these different features we can add and elements that we can add to our contact page. So we can find one that we like. We can add a map. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and add a map onto our contact page. Let's position this in a decent spot. We'll just throw it in here for now. Let me pull this down just a bit. Okay, and let's go ahead and change up this contact form because I don't really like this. Let's go ahead and click on it, and let's go ahead and select settings. And here is where we can actually plug in our email address. So this is where all of the information that people will submit, this is the email address is going to be sent to. We can also prompt for a phone number. We can prompt for an address. Right now it's prompting for a subject, message, email, and name. And then these asterisks denote mandatory info. So if this is checked on, if I check this on the phone and then I check this on, this means that when someone goes to fill out this form, it will not send until they put in the necessary information. As of right now though, everything is set to optional except for your name. So this is a very quick and easy way to set up a form. You can also control what the message is. So once they send it, if it's successfully sent, you can type in what they're going to receive upon that verification, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to take a few minutes here to close out of the contact form settings here, and let's just go ahead and go to the design, and let's try to get it to kind of match up with our color scheme that we have going on. I kind of already like this one, so say we pick that one. Let's go to customize design, fill color and opacity. You can also see here that they have preset designs that you can choose from if you're not satisfied with the one that you have. As of right now, I'm going to leave it a default because I do like this one. Let's just go down to text here at the bottom, and let's change the label color. So we can change this to something else if we want. We can make this yellow, and I think I'm actually going to keep it white for right now. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the bottom here, and let's change the font of our contact form. Select that, and let's type in railway, and we're going to change the font to railway. So it's very subtle, but I really do like that font, and that's kind of why I keep going back to it in this tutorial. And then additionally, we can change the font size if we want to. Now right now I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is at size 16. And also if you take a look, we can modify the send button, so we can customize how that looks as well, which is really cool. So if we want, we can change the color to yellow here. We can also change the font to railway as well. We can bold it. I'm going to leave it unbolded. And then we can also provide message colors. So success message is green, error message is red. Of course, you can control that if you want to. It's really up to you guys. Going back to the map briefly, you can see that you can show everybody where your business is at, which can be a good thing. So it's nice that Wix makes this super easy for you. Now, if you want to change the address associated with the map that's being displayed, you can just select the map, select change address, and you can type in an address here. So let's go ahead and type in a random address, and we'll see it update. As soon as we type in Times Square, New York City, and press find, it's going to locate that address, and there we are. So this is super easy to set up. You've also got controls to show map and satellite views, zoom controls, we can hide those if we want, we can hide the street view control, so on and so forth. Additionally, we have the option to change the design. So we have it set to yellow, but at any point we can change this to something else, give it a whole entirely different look. We can use a version just like this one. I feel like this one blends in with the website a little bit better, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I like this one and call it good. So there's our map. Now I've noticed we've got this random shape up here in the upper left hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And what I'm also going to do is select this contact field. I'm going to go ahead and hit edit text. I'm going to change the font to railway. And I think what else I'm going to do is go ahead and add that black strip down here to the bottom. So let's go ahead and get rid of this text here at the bottom. And we can get rid of these two social bar icons. Let's go to add, let's go to strip, and let's add this black strip in here so it matches the theme that we have going on throughout the website, just like that. Now I would like to mention that we can actually change the transitions between the pages. So if I go ahead and preview the website, we'll go ahead and watch this happen. Then we'll see our bar come up here. Now, if we click on photo gallery, watch this crossfade transition take place. It was a little jerky, but if we go back, you'll see it. It kind of fades out we can actually change that transition in between pages. We can go up to pages up here, and we can go down to page transitions and go to crossfade. These are the options that we have. We can do no page transition or horizontal page transition, vertical, so you can see how that works, or out, in. So you can pick one of these if you're not satisfied, or you can strictly just do none and it'll jump right to it. Personally, I like the crossfade transition the best, but I just thought I would make that known because I have not talked about that yet, and it's very beneficial to have for your website. When it comes to your website and designing one and creating one, a great place to go for help is the little help option here at the top. When you highlight that, you've got an entire help center dedicated to helping you with the editor. We've also got an entire location dedicated for keyboard shortcuts, so this can speed up time for you. We've also got how to connect to a domain, all about domains. We've also got SEO, search engine optimization, and getting found online. This will give you helpful pointers to boost your website. So long story short, guys, if you need help, don't be afraid to use that option there. There's a lot of questions that can be answered, and it is there for your benefit, so take advantage of it. Now let's take a minute to discuss site history. Site history is very important. Oftentimes we make changes and we need to go back in time to revert those changes. With site history, we can do just that, and Wix includes this as part of their editor. So what you can do is go up to site, then you can go down to site history, continue to site history. It's going to redirect you to this page, and throughout the entire day, it's going to show you all these different save points. Now, if we need to go back to a previous version from where we're at now, all we have to do is select that save point, hit view. It's going to go ahead and load that version of your website. You can cycle through and see what it looked like at that point in time if we need to restore it to that version. So you can see where it was at 10:01 this morning. Now, if we go to the most recent version, which was saved at 7:56, you can kind of see how the website has evolved. Now, it's very subtle, but there is changes that have been made. So this can be very helpful to have in certain situations, and it is great that this is included. So the last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is the site manager. So if we go up to site and then click on site manager, this is going to give us full control over the site name, so we can edit that, the site address, the published status, what plan we have. So right now we're using a free plan. Of course, there are paid plans. Then the domain, so we can connect this site to a domain, and then we can also optimize this for search engines. This will also tell you if your site is already optimized for mobile devices. And then down here, you can talk about your business information, your language and region, your social sharing preferences, and your analytics. And then these are all broken down into subcomponents. And basically there's a description under each menu that tells you exactly what you're looking at. So here we're on the SEO page. SEO is how you optimize your site so that it can be easily found and ranked by search engines like Google and more. So search engine optimization, if you're trying to earn revenue and you want your website to be seen, you need your website optimized for the search engines so that people can find your website. What's the point in creating a really nice website and then no one's seeing it? So SEO is extremely important. And if we go down to analytics, you can see that we can integrate Google Analytics with our website. Analytics will provide us key insight into our website's performance. So especially when we're talking about making ad revenue, that is extremely important information to know. And lastly, we also have roles and permissions. We can give other users moderator permissions, admin permissions. We can designate people as the owner. This is really cool that we have the ability to do this. The very last thing I want to talk about in regards to the site manager is the domain. The domain is the first thing that people are going to see, so it is such an important part of your online identity. The best way to complete your online presence is with your own custom domain. And this is also where you would update your fave icon, which appears next to your URL when people are actually on your site. Please keep in mind that the site manager is a key component to the success of your website. Do not neglect this. This is extremely important. The site manager is pretty much your place to go for everything that you need to get your website off the ground and up and running once you've actually finished out the layout and the design and you've got it to how you want it. So please make sure that you come here and you check your site settings and you fine tune these to exactly the way that you want them. So before I end this tutorial, guys, I just kind of want to talk about some of the things that we discussed throughout this video. First thing is we discussed how to create backgrounds very quickly and very easily. Page backgrounds are an extremely important aspect and part of your website. We also talked about how to customize and design your header on your website, including the menu. We also talked about how to add hundreds of different elements to your website very quickly and easily. We discussed integrating social media, customizing fonts, changing font sizes, creating your own images and animating them. We discussed the different tools available to us, including the toolbar, the rulers, the grid lines, and the snap to objects option. I mentioned where you can go and get help including keyboard shortcuts, help with the editor itself, connecting your website to a domain, which is essential, and also getting found online, which is also extremely important. We talked about the app market, which is filled with hundreds of apps to help you build the website you've always dreamed of building. We discussed page structure and how to delete and add pages to your website. We also talked about having the ability to switch editor views, including the desktop view and the mobile view. And last but not least, I hope you guys gained a lot from this tutorial. Now, this wasn't an all-inclusive tutorial, of course. There is many more features and options available for you guys to take advantage of. Please do yourself a favor and take advantage of those features. I hope in the short time that you've watched this video, you've been able to see how quickly and easy it is to put together a professional-looking website. I encourage all of you to go give Wix a try, and as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video if you made it this far.